Hi, this is Jack Malacco, host of the Customer Excellence Podcast. Before we start today's episode, I just wanted to let you know we had some issues with one of the microphones in this episode, so the audio will sound a little bit different than it normally does. That said, the conversation we had in this episode was just too good to scrap, so we decided to go ahead and keep this episode as is. Sorry for the technical issue, I promise it won't sound like this next episode, but for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Customer Excellence Podcast. Welcome to the Customer Excellence Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Malacco. I'm joined today by the lovely, the always wonderful, the maybe a little too cool for school, Sylvester Castillo-Lewis. And I'm only saying that because I used to work with this guy and I like to break his balls. How you doing, Sylvester?
Good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm sweating. This studio gets hot in Texas summers. And then, you know what?
You don't want to walk around with barefoot.
No, burn your feet.
Burn your feet.
It's some dark souls. Yeah, man. No, I wouldn't even think about it. But you know what? I had to put on pants. I had to put on a nice shirt because today we're joined by someone who is a little bit too fashionable compared to me. I mean, God dang it, man. How do you always come in looking like you're dressed to the nines and I'm over here thinking I look okay? Tell you guys. Well, anyway, we'll get into it. So, Sylvester, why don't we get right into the questions and start with your background? Why don't you tell everybody, how did you get involved in this line of work, and do you want to tell us what your line of work is?
Yeah. So I guess that's a good place to start. I work for a men's grooming company called Beard Brand. We're based here out of Austin, Texas. And what I do for the company is essentially I'm the community manager for Beard Brand. But that gets manifested in a lot of different ways. So
Sure.
It's not just I guess as descriptive as the title. But yeah, that gets manifested in a lot of ways. One way that does is through social media. So if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, now TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially over on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
We've got two channels on YouTube, one called Beard Brand Barbershop and the other one called the Beard Brand Alliance. So you'll find me interacting with comments, engaging in conversation there. And then the other way that gets manifested is if you go over to beardbrand.com and just look up style. You can go to the search browser and look up style.
Sure.
Or style consultant. We rolled out a SMS program.
Okay.
Where you can text us directly and get one-on-one style advice. So you can send a photo of yourself, and we can let you know, give you some trusted feedback and recommendations on your grooming journey and how we can help you maybe take things to the next level. Now,
is that just for beards, or do you guys do hair?
Yeah. So it's not only beards, it's mustaches as well.
Yep.
Beards, mustaches, hair, skin, style, attire style. It's a full package. So if you really want to elevate your game or maybe take it to the next level, head over to beardbrand.com.
All right.
And then the other way that gets manifested is through our private community called the Alliance.
Okay, why don't you tell us about that?
I'm sure we'll talk more about it throughout the conversation. But the Alliance is a private community that we have at Beard Brand. It's by invitation only.
Okay.
So it's not like a typical social media platform where anybody and everybody just
hops on
and, as we like to call them, trolls. Right? Maybe just kind of be a little bit more negative. It's the exact opposite of that. It's a private community. You have to be invited in.
Right.
And it's a place really where you can talk about beard style, hairstyle, and obviously attire style.
Yep.
But it's also a place where you can connect with what we call growth-minded people.
Sure.
So people who are looking to share in the journey of life and how they've overcome obstacles to not only dress themselves from the outward, but also how do you style yourself from the inside.
Gotcha.
And so it's tangible and intangible. It's a really awesome community. I've never really had to kick anybody out. And that's because it's self-evident of the people who are looking to invest in themselves.
They stay positive.
It stays pretty positive.
I dig that. Yeah. That alliance is pretty impressive, man. I remember I actually used to be part of it myself.
Yeah.
Those were the good days, man. Those were the good days. Reminds me of the show we used to do, the Alliance show back in the day. You want to talk about that? Remember that when we used to give style consultations?
We did. Yeah, we did a weekly live stream.
Yeah.
Over on the Beard Brand YouTube channel, so you can go and look those up.
I think they still exist on there.
They're still there. They're recorded, but every week we used to have a topic of discussion, and we used to share critiques. Guys who would send in photos of themselves and they'd ask us for feedback on their beard and their style, and we would give it to them. Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
A lot of fun.
It was good times. Remember that time that mirror almost fell on me? We'll have to throw a clip of that up on the video version of this so you guys can take a look.
In here.
Yeah, right? I made a point when we built out this space to not put any mirrors so they couldn't fall on me. But Sylvester, hey, man, let's get back into these more serious questions, right? So there's a lot of positives going on at Beard Brand, evidently. Yeah. I mean, you can see it in the work that you guys do.
Yeah.
But specifically in your role, man, I mean, I know anybody, regardless of industry, has made some decisions that don't necessarily play out like they intended. So is there a time that you can recall of making a decision that didn't pan out like you thought it would?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't really share a lot of negative decisions that I've made that I could say, have impacted, my work. But one decision that we made was actually starting the Alliance. You were there from the ground up.
That's right.
One of the first founding members.
I remember that. Back then there was about 12 of us.
There was about 12 of us in there, and now we've got about 4,000 guys in there.
Holy cow.
And I think that was probably one of the best decisions. One of the better decisions that we made was embarking on an endeavor from a customer support. That's the theme here, right?
Yeah.
From a customer support perspective, being able to kind of gather our customers together in a private setting, I think was that turned out to be a really great decision.
Yeah.
It allowed us to have a connection directly from the company or the brand to the consumer,
right.
And it allowed us to speak to them and interact with them and learn about them.
Right.
So I would say that was a decision that paid off pretty well.
Yeah. But it took time, didn't it?
It took time. It took a lot of work. Yeah. It took a lot of patience. Yeah. But that's the really cool thing about Beard Brand, and also just kind of being in this role. It's really cool to be a part of a company, and if you are out there and your focus is on customer support or community engagement, I would encourage you to not only find a way to deliver a tangible good to your customer, but also to deliver an intangible good to that customer as well.
Right.
We're a men's grooming company. We make a premium men's grooming product, probably the best you'll ever come across.
He's not biased.
No, I'm not biased.
Yeah.
But what really, I guess, motivates me is the intangible aspect of that.
Sure.
We got a motto that says keep on growing, right? Grow your hair, grow your beard, grow in your style.
Yeah.
But also grow to be the best person that you can be for your circles of influence and the community around you.
I dig that.
And so, starting that community and being able to marry that tangible and intangible piece, really great decision.
So along the way, man, as we were building out the Alliance, right? I keep saying you really built this thing to be what it is today.
It's a team effort, man.
Absolutely. But that's the point. Who did help you along the way? I mean, we have the community, or you have the community now, but who has helped you get to the place where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, it's really it's been a team effort.
Yeah.
Everybody from the founder down to, the crickets in the room. Everybody's played a role at some part in some way. And that's the beauty of being a part of a team. Everybody has a contributing piece.
Sure.
And, it goes back down to, I think so often in customer support, it kind of maybe gets looked at as maybe the custodians of the business, and it really is not. We're all custodians of the business from the top down. So everybody being able to play a part in that, building that community. I did a lot of the legwork and did a lot of the interaction, still do a lot of that. but we've all played a role in it. Everybody from the website people to the advertising people to the copywriting people.
Oh yeah.
Down to the operations side of it too. Everybody plays a role in helping grow that community.
Absolutely. So, do you have any inspirations that kind of kept you going or keep you going now that in this community? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the men's grooming community.
Yeah. There's a lot of communities out there, a lot of good companies doing a lot of good things, and that's why I say if I would encourage those community managers out there or those customer service focused people to really think about how you can deliver that tangible and intangible aspect.
Right.
If you even look at it, you've got people like Joe Rogan out there.
Yeah.
You've got other people like even Matthew McConaughey now, who's a local Austin guy. Shout out to McConaughey.
That's one of ours guys.
Yeah. Everybody, it kind of seems like, at least from my perspective, somebody's trying to be a light where they can be.
Sure.
And I think that's super valuable, super important. That's what attracts me.
Yeah.
And that's what inspires me to keep doing what I do.
Dig it, man.
But we wanted to talk about how I got started.
Yeah, let's touch on that.
And so I wanted to make sure to mention that. And how I got started really in this industry was really at a young age. It was when my dad taught me how to shake somebody's hand and look them in the eye and say, introduce yourself. It was kind of inspired by him, who really taught me how to have I don't want to call it a servant's heart, but somebody who is
a giver,
willing to look out for somebody else. Yeah. And that's a big attribute that my dad has.
Sure.
And that's something that he instilled in me. And if you're in any line of business, no matter where, if you're the founder or if you're, the guy who comes through to sweep the building, everybody plays a customer service role.
Absolutely.
And so that's really where I got started. The reality is that those skills translated throughout life.
Yeah.
And when I got my first, I guess, really adult job, it was in a marketing agency.
Oh, okay.
And so even in a marketing agency, I found myself serving customers, right? Like, CEOs and COOs and, founders of companies. Those are your customers. So no matter where you are, no matter what you do, you should be looking out for people. You should be, even if you don't have your business hat on, just being a good human being goes a long way.
At the end of the day, it's those same principles that carry over.
Yeah.
All the way back to just learning how to shake someone's hand, right?
That's right, man.
I like that. All right, let's talk about the future, Sylvester. You guys are pretty forward thinking at Beard Brand. I want to know from your perspective, what do you think the next, this is a pretty buzzy word, big thing is going to be in the customer service industry? What do you think is going to happen, man?
Yeah, I really think it's twofold, and we've been able to do it successfully at Beard Brand. One is building a private community for our customers.
Yep.
We do that by, several ways. One, you can purchase a lifetime membership right into the community. It's flat $90.
Okay.
Another way that you can do that, which would probably be the better way to go, is to just buy 3 times from us.
So once you get that third product,
once you get to that third purchase, it could be of any size, but
sure.
Once you get to that third purchase, then you'll be invited to join for life. So being able to wrap your hands around your core customers, I think is super valuable. You see a lot of companies doing it now, smaller companies.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to gain more traction.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this is again, social media is it's so inundated with different things.
Oh yeah.
Negative and positive. And a lot of negativity can breed in those spaces.
Yep.
And so being able to provide a place where your customers can engage and grow and interact directly with the brand in a non-toxic environment, I think is very key. But that also goes back down to your core values.
Sure.
Too. So,
sure.
That's one thing. And then the other thing is really kind of more in person.
Okay.
So being able to create in-person experiences like we've done with the Alliance Conference.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that? What was it? Yeah.
Yeah. The Alliance Conference is an annual conference that we host. It's really more of a mini conference style. It's not like
more intimate.
It's more intimate.
Yeah.
Tickets are limited to like 20 tickets
Okay.
every year. And so, we've been able to create these in-person experiences where we, and again, in our space, in our industry, we found how to do that. And that's by giving a haircut and a beard trim.
Right.
And through, expert barbers.
Right.
Offering style consultations, which we also did. And then also having guest speakers throughout the day, being able to come in and talk about how to grow from the inside, and then also how do you style yourself from the outside. So having experts in both realms has been super beneficial to us and to the people who attend.
Sure.
But yeah, creating those in-person experiences, being able to do that, whether it's annually or semi-annually, I think is also the next thing that you should consider doing if you're not already.
Totally get that, man. Totally get that. I like it. And we had a good time those conferences.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back and talk about the positivity because we had the negativity, right? And that tends to breed a lot, and it breeds very easily in social media. Yeah. How do you, in your role, stay positive with what you do?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think it's, and I've always been this way, but it's a lifelong journey.
Is it? Yeah.
To, I think just being highly accountable to yourself. Self-accountability is really important to me. And so, I don't know, it's just more of a personal belief system that I have. Like,
absolutely.
You can't blame external things. You should always look inward, and you should always try to grow and try to learn from those, those opportunities or those challenges or those obstacles.
Sure.
How I stay positive, man. Yeah, I mean, I've got to, there's a couple of things I've got to do every day.
Okay.
One of those is get a good amount of rest.
Oh, yeah. That's necessary.
I've got to work out
and
sweat pretty regularly. And then I've got to have breakfast and coffee.
Otherwise, day is over.
I'm a grumpy person. But, those are really simple things. And,
sure.
And, it's crazy because I think they're often overlooked.
Sure.
Especially by maybe even people in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
Of whether it's customer support or community involvement, community engagement, community leadership.
Yeah.
Is really making sure to practice what you preach.
Yeah.
So oftentimes it can be pretty hard to speak it and show everybody else and help everybody else. But when you're not helping yourself, you really, your gas tank is going to drain.
Exactly, man. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to be able to take care of somebody else?
Yeah. So you got to keep the gas tank full, man.
Absolutely. Keep that gas tank full. All right, Sylvester, we got the big question now, right? The one that goes back to the title of this podcast, the Customer Excellence Podcast, right?
Oh, yeah.
What does that term mean to you, though? Customer excellence.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Man, customer excellence is really about, again, being in control of the outcome, right? When it comes to customer service or customer experience or community involvement, community engagement, leadership, you're 100% in control of the outcome or of the expectation.
Right.
So to me, customer excellence is really adapting to multiple scenarios. Some of them are intense, some of them are not as intense, but being able to stay flexible and being able to adapt to those situations, I think is probably one of the highest forms of customer excellence that you can demonstrate. That could be, somebody disappointed in the way a situation was handled.
Sure.
That could be listening, as simple as just listening to someone's feedback.
Yeah.
Critical or positive. I think we tend to lean more towards the positive feedback in our industry, but that critical feedback in the appropriate setting can be super beneficial to the company, can be super beneficial to your team, can be super beneficial to the community. And so being able to, I think customer excellence is being able to listen to good feedback and bad feedback and taking that with you and learning from it and growing from it and then putting actionable steps into tweaking it and making it an actual reality.
Gotcha. I dig it, man.
Yeah.
I dig it. Now, this is part of the show when I usually tell the guests to plug themselves. Where can we connect to you online? Do you want to plug Beard Brand first and then yourself?
Yeah, you can always follow me. Follow us along on any of our social media platforms over at beardbrand.com. And then, I'm always there. And then for myself, I tend to be, I don't know, I don't really tend to be as active on social media.
Hey, that's totally fine.
You're welcome to follow me along at Sylvester Lewis over on Instagram. That's kind of the best way to reach me.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you stopping by today and letting us know a little bit about the world of men's grooming and how customer excellence plays into that. Really appreciate it. Hey, it's good to have you back, man.
Hey, man.
I missed you.
Here.
All right. Thanks for listening. Remember, you can watch this on the YouTube channel of SupportNinja. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.